In fact, when I went to visit Heidegger, he had Being and Nothingness on his desk in German translation. And I said, "Oh, you're reading Sartre?" And he said, "How can I even begin to read this muck?" His word was dreck. And that's pretty strong, and I think that's accurate.
Poor Sartre always getting thrown under the bus in academics.
Wow, they just skipped over Sartre, which is a major disappointment.
Yeah, they really got that whole bit about Merleau-Ponty's work outlasting Sartre's pretty wrong.
This is unbelievable. Undoubtedly the dismissal of Sartre here is a product of the fashionable contemporary treatment of him, and perhaps rightly so, for at that time in his philosophical development, his Marxist revolutionary years, I think Sartre was writing muck. But his pre-1946 works, among which the gems The Transcendence of Ego, 1936, The Imaginary, 1940, and Being and Nothingness, 1943, shine brightest, are all brilliant in their scope and their ramifications. It is a travesty that these men would shit on Being and Nothingness as Sartre taking Heidegger and attempting to make it Cartesian. Sartre is explicitly anti-Cartesian, as he makes clear in his attack on Husserl's reliance on the Cartesian cogito in Transcendence of Ego. I'd advise anyone who isn't familiar with Sartre to ignore what these two gentlemen say in regards to Sartre here, although the rest of this episode with Dreyfus is otherwise quality philosophical discussion. For good reasons, not all of which were philosophical or academic. Many denounce Sartre as an apologist for tyranny and terror because of his support for Stalinism, Maoism, and Castro's regime in Cuba. And Sartre's ideas influenced the Khmer Rouge. The events in Cambodia in the 1970s, in which between 1/5 and 1/3 of the nation was starved to death or murdered, were entirely the work of a group of intellectuals, who were for the most part pupils and admirers of Jean-Paul Sartre.
Just your last sentence was a bit weird in defending Heidegger. Should we detract anything from Heidegger because he was a Nazi? Or Sartre because he supported the Soviet Union?
Well, and Heidegger was an unashamed Nazi. But now, if we have even a drop of intellectual honesty in our system, we would not and do not pay attention to the political inclinations of philosophers. Nobody is perfect. Despite ebullient praise for Being and Nothingness when it was first published, look it up, the later Heidegger finds in a work whose central contention is you are the sum total of your choices, nothing but muck. Perhaps had the former Nazi party member who threw his own mentor under the bus in exchange for a university rectorship made decisions in his life that reflected on who he was, I wonder if his view would still have changed.